The ridiculous distribution of orbitals in quantum mechanics. Using Cartesian coordinates that do not exist in the natural or real cosmic structure. Any mathematician, a quantum mathematician, of course, who freely wrests his mind from his indoctrinated and incongruous mathematical models and begins to observe the cosmos and nature that surrounds him, if he is honest, will quickly verify and understand that the mathematical and geometric structure and adjustments he believes in and uses do not exist in the nature and cosmos to which he later tries to apply them. Friends, both bears, in their lethargy, and dreamers, absorbed in their fantasies, are sometimes necessary and convenient to use and warn with harsh and strong words, ridiculous, stupid, etc., to awaken them and bring them back to reality, and to make them think that they are outside of said reality and that they should review their considerations and postulates. And this is the case of quantum mechanics and its teachings or pretensions, which do not conform to nature and cosmic reality, and which operate outside the structural mathematics of the cosmos and nature. And why such harsh terms? How can they be ridiculous? Well, that's why, because they don't realize that perhaps we are only mathematical apprentices, too inexperienced and pretentious in the face of the greatness of the cosmos. Please, let nature and the cosmos teach us how they act and function, and not tell them how to behave, and that we still have much to observe and learn in order to find mathematical systems and coordinates that correspond to reality, for example, the study and development of orbital systems dependent on energy and power. Centers or nuclei which redistribute energy to satellites or orbitals around them, measured in relation to their distances, rotational speeds, etc. That is, the cosmos appears to us to be spherical, rotational, and concentric in nuclei of matter and energy. These nuclei develop pairs of antagonistic forces, gravity and magnetic forces, which cause said nuclei and their fields to rotate, thereby creating a polar direction, spin, ns, and a rotational and equatorial distribution of satellites around them, through positive, plus symbol, orbits defined by their magnetic fields. And to fine-tune these events a bit, we can use simple orbital coordinates, based on the potential for nuclear attraction, and the forces and velocities of the orbitals around them to counteract them. But no Cartesian coordinates cubes, with orbitals distributed laterally along these coordinates, in simple and probabilistic levitation. Please, who has ever seen anything similar in nature, or throughout the cosmos? Therefore, and forgive me, Schrödinger and his sympathizers and co-religionists, but the phrase or statement that the square of the wave function should be considered the probability of finding an orbital in such and such a place is a ridiculous pretense and lacks any physical mathematical logic that shows us the forces and reasons for the necessary movements and positions of orbitals, and of course, without ever having verified that probability of being found. That is to say, quantum mechanics is not a science of observation, discussion, and logical verification, but rather a pseudo-religion with the acceptance of incongruous pre-established axioms. For now, that's all, friends. Thank you very much for your attention.